Hello, hello, hello. I hope that y'all are well. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Put a one in the comments if you can hear me clearly. And let me send this off because I ain't sent this to nobody. I hope that y'all are well. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, happy Friday. Happy Feminine Friday. That's what I like to call it. A Fly Woman Friday. Put a one in the comments if you can hear me clearly and let me know where you're watching from. Let's see as I send these out. Oh, did it move? Okay. Where are my notes? Today we're going to be talking about the ultimate self-mastery. And it really just boils down to honestly a simple question. And if that's basically, are you brave enough to elevate your belief, your biology, and your behavior? Because what I'm finding is that a lot of women are asking for things that they're not ready for. And I'm just be honest. There are certain things that have to be done in order for you to reap a harvest. There are certain things that need to be done in order for you to be able to manifest the life that you truly desire. There are things that need to be done in order for you to be able to attract the type of partner that you desire and that you really, really want. Okay? Thank you very much. It is, girl, she about to launch soon too. It's my boo. No, it is not the right one. Okay. So there's this brand that I am now partnering with who's so amazing. It's one of my amazing friends. And I'm going to talk more about this brand at another time, but it's called Onyx Beauty. And I actually have on her lipstick Ruby. And this is a strength matte lipstick that I absolutely love. So I'm going to talk more about this. I'm going to put this on my list so you guys will be able to go. She has some bomb products, y'all. And I'm a former makeup artist. So when I tell you I'm very hard to kind of please, I worked at MAC for how many years I was working at MAC? Maybe like 3 years, I think. Yeah, like 3 years. And yeah, I'm pretty hard to please when it comes down to makeup. And she did that with her products. So I'll talk more about that another time. But like I said, today I'm going to be talking on this Feminine Friday about the ultimate self-mastery, which is, are you brave enough to elevate your belief, your biology, and your behavior? There are some things I'm noticing that's happening in society, and even women that are coming to want to work with me. So if you're not familiar with who I am, my name is Elle Antoinette. I'm a feminine mastery architect. And what I do specifically is that I support my clients by igniting these amazing women leaders to actually master their feminine design, as well as getting them to master their emotional responses so that they can have enhanced creativity, enhanced productivity, which enhances their financial growth. My clients have gone from 5 figures to 6 figures. Myself, I built my business to the ground up from 6 figures to 6 figures without hustling. I support my clients in being able to make money with ease by understanding your authentic gifts and operating according to those gifts, because those gifts are going to actually make room for you. So I support my clients in being able to do that. But in order for my clients to be able to do that, they had to ask themselves, and I asked all of my clients basically the same question: are you prepared? Are you prepared to elevate your beliefs, your biology, and your behavior? Because that's what it's going to take in order for you to manifest the life that you truly, truly desire. The life that you want is not coming with you not doing anything. And I'll be very honest with you. Money is, and I've talked about this a lot, but money is basically energy, right? And people don't really like to dissect, and they don't really understand and try to get clarity or explain what exactly that means. But money literally responds to value. It responds to value. And in order for you to receive money, you have to deem yourself as valuable. And when you deem yourself as valuable, then you can create external value. So a lot of my clients come to me, hey, my love, to elevate their beliefs because they're still fighting with mommy's voice in their minds. Even though they've hit six figures in their business, they're still fighting mommy's voice in their mind and saying that they're going to mess it up. They're still fighting the voice of the naysayers in their mind, even though they've been able to achieve great things despite what naysayers have said in the past. And so the women that come to work with me, they become masters. They become masters of their own authentic design. Because you don't become feminine. There's no such thing as you becoming feminine. You are feminine according to your design. It's about whether or not you're going to get in alignment with your design or you're going to work against it. And as a woman who has spent a lot of years working against her design, it didn't serve me. Versus the last 7 years that I have spent working with my design, it has literally shifted my belief. I have better health because I'm 90 pounds smaller, and I also have built a six-figure business from the ground up. I'm making more money in my business than I did ever when I was working at my 9 to 5. But all of this came from me making some hard decisions to elevate my belief, to shift my biology, and to change the way that I was behaving. And so I'm going to support you on today to see if you are really in a space of really, really aligning and becoming or setting yourself up for the ultimate form of self-mastery, because that matters. Like I said again, for those who are joining, my name is Elle Antoinette. I'm a feminine mastery architect and I absolutely love the work that I do. I work with amazing women leaders and I ignite them to master their feminine design as well as master their emotional responses so that they can enhance their creativity, their productivity, okay? And this actually supports them in financial growth. So if I had to just break it down in layman's terms or just as simple as possible, I help women activate and channel their feminine energy. I help women activate and channel their feminine energy in business and in life so that they can really start living lives that they truly desire instead of settling for the life that they currently have. Because you don't have to settle for the life that you have currently. What is feminine design? You are, okay, so your feminine design, when I say that, I'm not speaking of feminine energy. Feminine energy oozes from your feminine design. Your feminine design is your actual makeup. So when I'm speaking about your design, I'm speaking about the way that you were actually created. And the way that you were created, if you are a woman, you have an essence. You have a feminine essence and a feminine design that is unique, that is not like anyone else's, which is why you have to be very careful about the femininity advice that you are taking on these apps that are trying to get you to get a man and do this and do that. What women have to understand is that you connecting with the masculine or you connecting with men is a byproduct of you being in the fullness of your feminine energy. It's not something that you look forward to as an outcome. And I think that women are so caught up on the outcome of attaching themselves to a man because women really desire to be married. And it's not a bad thing that you desire to be married at all. The issue comes into play when you are trying to move according to or do things so that you can get that outcome. Hey, my love. And that's where the problem comes in, because you're sowing with an intention trying to control. And you can't control another person. The only thing that you can control is yourself. And most of the time I notice when people are trying to control other people, it usually is because they have no control over self. And so if you are a person, because I'm going to tell you, what I'm talking about today, and I'm going to be very specific. What I'm speaking on today is designed for ambitious women leaders and business women who are ready to really elevate their lives and their businesses by mastering their connection between their beliefs, their biology, and their behavior. Okay, so this is for women who have started the journey but who really want advanced strategies and guidance on how you can achieve unparalleled success, unparalleled authenticity, unparalleled attraction to the things that you truly, truly desire instead of the things that you say you want, but you really don't even want that for yourself. So I'm going to really dive deep into that. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. I'm not going to do my usual spiel. And let me say this too. Because I made a decision for myself that I wanted to do when it came down to doing lives and doing content and different things from this day forth. I am not going to speak on anything else when it comes down to shifting or let me say this, in regard to specific beliefs. And what I mean by that is I'm not going to spend a lot of time reminding you of your value. I've spent the last year and a half explaining to you what currency was. I've spent the last year and a half, 2 years, explaining to you why you are extremely valuable. If you are struggling to understand your value and your self-worth, I recommend that you click the link in my bio and you check out the areas of where you need to heal. If you are not seeing a consistent flow of money come into your business, if you are not seeing a consistent flow of different things that are coming into your life, it is because there are blocks. So there's a link in my bio that you can click and you can remove those blocks when you are ready to remove those blocks. But until you remove those blocks and get into alignment, money is never going to see you. It is never going to come after you. A partner is never going to come after you that you truly desire. Until you actually heal those things and do that work, thank you, my love, for these gifts. Those things are not going to happen for you. And I just want to be very honest with you. So if you are wanting to shift that and you want to get more in a position of flow instead of the inconsistent back and forth, then it's time to step into a state of mastery. And you got to be ready to elevate your beliefs, your biology, so that your behavior can really shift and you start seeing different results. Okay? Oh, it's right on time. All praises to the Most High. All right. So, let's go ahead and get into number one first and foremost. Are you brave enough to elevate your beliefs, your biology, and your behavior? Because we ask for things a lot of times that we're not prepared for because we don't tell the truth. We don't tell the truth to ourselves, and therefore we position ourselves to be played. And I always tell people all the time, the realer you are with you, the better you can structure your business. What's the other one I was gonna say? The realer you are with you, the better you can structure your business. The more honest you are with yourself, like the depths of the honest, that's the longer that you're going to be in business. So the more you know yourself, the better you can structure out your business. And the realer you are with yourself, that's the longer you're going to be in business. Okay? So the first things first, belief is the foundation of your reality. So I need you to ask yourself, have you stepped into the space of identifying what's really holding you back from doing what you need to do? Have you identified those limiting beliefs? Have you reframed and reprogrammed your mind? And have you aligned your beliefs with the spiritual principles that resonate with you? Because if you have not, then your belief is shaky. And out of your beliefs comes security and insecurity. So if you find yourself to consistently be an insecure person, you're going to be a person that's not going to be able to keep money in your hands because you're not confident enough to be able to execute, or you're not confident enough to articulate the value that you truly provide. And if you can't do that, then guess what? You're not ready to position yourself to elevate, and therefore you're not going to attract opportunity. You're not going to be able to attract more money, and you're not going to be able to attract the type of individual that you desire to be in partnership with or in friendship with, all because the foundation of your reality is shaky because you don't have real belief. You don't have real belief, so you're not ready. Hey, my love, we have to stop lying as women. We lie a lot. We lie a lot and say that we are ready for certain things that we're not ready for. If you have not energetically positioned yourself to understand what it looks like or what it is to be a business owner, or let's take it up a notch, because a lot of people like to get caught up in relationships. If you don't understand the mindset of a wife, you're going to struggle in your marriage. Because society teaches you about weddings and they teach you about all the cute stuff, but nobody puts you in position to be a wife. That is a role you have to energetically, spiritually, mentally prepare for before you even physically show up. And this is coming from someone who was married for 8 years. And when I started my business in my marriage, I built my business around literally being my husband's wife. So I could be off, make the type of money I was making, and do the type of work that I wanted to do. And it was very well. It was working very well for me. The marriage ended, but it was working very well when I was actually married. So the thing is, I understood that God came first, family second, and then business third. I structured that out. I had to shift my belief in order for me to even be comfortable enough to adopt a business model like that, because I thought in my mind according to other people. I had to work hard. I had to do this. I had to do that to be able to make a certain amount of money. I couldn't have being a wife. I couldn't manage being a business owner because I couldn't have it all. And that's not the case. It's all about your belief. The reason why a lot of people get stuck sitting on their visions and sitting on their dreams is because they believe that where they're working and what they're doing is the only thing that they can do. And that's not the truth. That's the furthest thing from the truth. That's why your belief is the foundation of your reality, because whatever you believe about yourself, the body is going to come into agreement with. That's how powerful the body is. Women who have pregnancy scares, you understand it firsthand. If you ever had a pregnancy scare and you thought you were pregnant and you thought you was having all these symptoms and you took a test and the test was negative, why? Because your beliefs are that powerful that it can trick your body into thinking that you're carrying a baby when you have nothing on the it's like, that's how powerful your beliefs are. And I give you another example. I want you to think about all those years ago when that movie, when we see, and I'm just gonna put this out there, I'm gonna let y'all do it. When you see a truck with a bunch of logs on it riding in front of you, what's the first thing you think of? And this might be for some who are millennials, it might be some ones who are younger who may have seen this film. But when you see a truck full of logs and you're driving right behind it or a few cars behind it, what is the first thing that pops in your mind? I'll tell you what pops in most people's mind that are in my age bracket. For those who have watched Final Destination, bingo, thank you, somebody already said it. Do y'all know that movie came out over 20 years ago? Do y'all know? Are y'all paying attention to how that one scene from that movie has carried over into our minds for the next 20 years and created a fear that these logs are going to fall on us? At the same time, we are the same people who would say we believe God will save us from anything. But when we see them logs, we're going to move. Why? Because we've been programmed to be afraid of those trucks based on what we've seen, because your beliefs are that powerful. Your beliefs are so powerful now that when you see that truck, you immediately take action and you move over. You don't even know if them things finna fall or not. You don't know anything. All you know is that you're afraid and you take an action because you're afraid. That's how powerful belief is. We've been carrying that picture in our minds of that truck with those logs for 20 years. Imagine if you really had a thought in your mind or a picture in your mind that could elevate you for the next 20 years. Like, make it make sense. Make it make sense. What you believe about yourself is going to set the tone for your reality. If you believe that all men are trash, you will meet trash men. If you believe that you can't be paid a certain amount of money, people won't pay you for your services, they're not gonna pay you. And it's not because they won't pay you, it's because you don't believe, and the body comes into the agreement with that lack of belief, and that behavior shows as no result or procrastination in you getting it done. So you have no result, and because of that you have no result. Nobody is coming to buy because there's nothing to buy, because you didn't even take a chance to create it because you believe that you couldn't and that nobody would pay you for it. That's how a lot of people play themselves. Your belief is off. You don't believe that you're going to be paid consistently for what you do. So you don't sow consistently. Here's the truth of why a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners don't last and they don't make it. I'll be very honest with you. They don't understand spiritual law. They don't honor spiritual law. And when you don't honor spiritual law, you become a victim of it, instead of learning how to use it and utilize it to be victorious. Every inaction that you don't take, or every action that you don't take, you are in violation of the law of vibration. Okay? So let me put you on game. So for those who are joining, again, I'm Elle Antoinette. I'm a feminine mastery architect. Everything that I provide to you is going to come from scripture, science, and psychology. Okay? That is my background. That is what I love. That is what I dissect and I research. I have some degrees on top of that. But hey, whatever about those. Just telling you what it is. So when it comes down to your belief and understanding spiritual law, when you don't take action, you are in violation of the spiritual law of vibration, which the spiritual law of vibration states that everything is constantly in motion. Everything is constantly moving. Okay? And so if everything is constantly moving, even when you are sitting here, and as I'm sitting here, my body, the inside, the internal, this literally is moving. It's circular. It's moving. Every time I make a decision not to take an action in the direction that I know I have been commanded to go into according to what the Most High has for me and what I should be doing with my life, I'm in violation of the law of vibration because I'm not moving. And if I'm not moving, there's no flow. And the law of vibration literally lets you know that everything moves in a circular motion. So if you do nothing, you get nothing, which puts you in position, just like someone I saw say, the law of sowing and reaping. What people have to understand about the universe that the Most High created, it's an algorithm. It responds. It's an intelligent system. So when you lie to yourself in thought, when you destroy yourself energetically by talking crazy to yourself emotionally, the universal algorithm picks these things up as this is how you view yourself, and it's multiplied. So when you meet people who double down on treating you as bad as you treat yourself, you should not be surprised because it's only responding to who you are. Everyone in front of you is either your mirror or your teacher. Your children are both. And what you have to understand and be very clear on is that if you don't like what you see in your life, you have to start paying attention to the things that you have liked and engaged in mentally. Because with your mind you create. It says in scripture, so a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. What do you think about yourself in your subconscious mind is what you call into your reality every single day. What are you calling into your reality by what you believe? Do you believe, are you living a life as a business owner or as a creative knowing that the Most High is going to always supply all of your needs? Or are you listening to society tell you that there is a recession? The Bible is full of spiritual law. The Bible is full of spiritual law. I invite any and everyone to dive deep into it, to actually do that. I love to dissect scripture. So for example, you may hear people refer to the law of cause and effect. That is rooted in the law of sowing and reaping, where it says that God is not mocked, for whatever man sows, you shall reap. So yes, the spiritual law, those laws, they came from scripture. So if you really dissect and you really pay attention to things, everything is normally a mimic of what the Most High already created. Man may perverse it for their own usage, but it is very clearly stated how we should be living and how we should govern ourselves, especially when we're in this realm, okay? And belief is a huge part of it, which is why we are told to take our thoughts captive. When you don't take your thoughts captive, your thoughts master you and you don't master your mind. And when you don't master your mind, that means that you have no control over your emotions. And if you have no control over your emotions, then what that lets me know is that you can be reckless with your behavior. And when you are reckless with your behavior, the results are ridiculous. 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 You can't live the life that you desire when you're out here being reckless because you think so lowly of yourself. Your perception, because let me put you on game if you didn't know. Your perception of self, your perspective of self, your patterns of self equal your relationship with self. So if you see patterns, if this person doesn't view you a certain way that you're dealing with, if this person doesn't treat you a certain way, if this person is doing all of these things, I want you to really take a look at how you're treating yourself. How are you treating yourself? Tell yourself the truth. I had a conversation with someone yesterday. And in that conversation, and I'm like, let me just, because we need to wake up from this belief. I'm finna just go ahead and tell you. So having a conversation with a woman yesterday, and we were speaking about, she was speaking about another woman and how she was with a guy, and the guy is not really planning, and she's the person that does all the planning, and she does this and she does that, and he's not recognizing her value. And I'm just listening because these are conversations that women like to have without taking responsibility and accountability for participating, giving permission to, or not paying attention to the important stuff. So as she's stating this, I said, okay, so explain to me where the issue is, because it sounds like she's a willing participant in this experience. Well, she says, well, it's a little bit confusing because when you know you're the prize. I said, well, tell me how a woman knows she's the prize, because we like to have this conversation. So let's really have this conversation, because nobody want to tell the truth. Let's go on and tell it. So what is the prize? She says what most women say, that I hear them say. Well, she's got a good job, she's got a car, she's got her head on straight, she's making good money, she's doing this. So when she is looking at all of this and how she has herself together, and she's dealing with a man who is not realizing that she is the prize, then that's confusing. Here was my question. Is she the prize though? Because everything that you just listed to me were status symbols of society. How much money you make, what you do for a living, what you have. Those are all masculine principles that are attracted to like the feminine is attracted. Feminine energy is attracted to that. So how does those things externally outside of herself make her the prize? Because external things can't make you the prize. And here's the truth of the matter. Let's get into the real of it. Like I told her yesterday, is she the prize though? Because if she felt like she was the prize, she wouldn't be dealing with somebody who wouldn't plan anything for her. If she felt like she was the prize, she wouldn't deal with anyone who was treating her as if she was not a priority. If she really knew that she was the prize, she would not participate in experiences that drain her value to the point to where she has to complain about it to you. She's not the prize, and we need to stop the bull. Y'all think y'all the prize because you have external items. You think you the prize because you have external items, when the truth of the matter is the prize is internal, but that's free game. You don't understand that because you don't understand that you were made with the God frequency. You don't know that the kingdom of heaven is within you, so you try to build an outward kingdom to try to make it look like you a queen ruler. But if you notice, queen rulers just have an essence about them. You know a queen ruler when you're in the presence of one. And she doesn't have to always have her crown visible for you to understand how powerful she is. It's just in her essence. When you believe you are that girl, you position yourself like you were that girl. When you believe that you are the prize, you don't put yourself in the hands of any and everybody. See, let's cut these lies out. We lie too much as women. We lie. And that's why a lot of times, like, I shifted a way that a lot of the way that I work, because we lie. Y'all will come to me and tell me all the things that you want, but you ain't willing to do an ounce of nothing to get it. You sow nothing, you get nothing, beloved. That's spiritual law. That's scripture. So the thing is, whatever you believe about yourself is true. If you believe that you're not worthy, you're not worthy. I'm not. See, and this is the thing. Y'all need to stop arguing with people and telling people that they're worthy when they have committed and chosen to stay at a state of not feeling worthy. I'm not arguing with you on your self-perception. How you see yourself is your responsibility. I'm not here. See, that's the thing. Y'all get so caught up in wanting to build people up so they can feel better about themselves. Let me tell you something. I'm not going to argue with you. I can only tell you so many times that you're excellent and that you're amazing. I'm not going to sit here and consume myself with why you choose not to believe what is. Not my monkey, not my circus. You need to work on your own belief. You need to work on your own belief. Because I'm going to tell you something. Whatever you are believing, it's creating something. Whatever you believe in your mind is creating something spiritually for yourself. So be very careful and be very cautious. Because here's the thing, are you brave enough to elevate from those low-level thoughts about yourself? Are you brave enough to graduate from being everybody's person? Are you bold enough to be initiating into a season where you may be by yourself because you may lose everybody else because you're choosing to transmute your energy up into a new frequency? Are you ready for that? Then you're not ready to attract the type of partner that you want. Because I'm going to tell you something. A lot of your girlfriends ain't going to be happy that you got a good man. And you ain't going to be able to tell them how good it is. Because they ain't ready to do their work to be able to attract the good one. See, y'all too scared of what you going to leave behind. Y'all too scared of who you going to leave behind. Everybody is responsible for their own work, baby. Everybody got to answer for themselves to the Most High. You better do what you need to do for you. Are you ready to graduate from the belief system that you have to work extremely hard to make a lot of money? Y'all see these people get money on y'all head every day and you let them trick you into thinking you got to exhaust yourself. You let these people create a fake movement called Black Girl Magic so you can exhaust yourself to oblivion so you can look cute at brunch on the gram while you have anxiety behind closed doors, trying to prove a point that you're magic, that you create magic. Real ones understand that they are magic. You don't have to practice something that you are. Luke 17:21 tells you have the kingdom of heaven within you. You are magic. It's your fault you don't know. When you don't know, they'll tell you anything about yourself. And that's what they've been doing to us in society. Telling you any and everything and you believe them. And because you believe them, you're in the current state that you are now. They're telling you that it's a recession while they continue to move money over your head. They telling you there's no money while they're moving it over your head. They tell you that there are no opportunities and there's no this and there's no good men while all these things are happening over your head. And it's all because you won't graduate from your childhood beliefs. It's all because you refuse to hack your sim of being a good girl, being a good friend, being a good person. But you're not good to yourself, so you're a liar. You're a liar. You're not a good person. You're not good to you. The scripture tells you to love your neighbor as you love yourself. You're not a good person because you exhaust yourself for somebody else. God didn't tell you to do that at all. Because if you made it here, you got a mission. You got an assignment. And we love to make other people our assignment instead of focusing on ourselves because it's easier to take care of somebody else than to deal with the reality that we lack belief within self. Get into it. Stop asking for what you are not ready for. If you are not ready to be initiated into a new belief system that is going to shift your life experience so you can become a 6-figure business owner, so you can become a 7-figure business or a multi-6-figure, so you can have a healthy relationship, so you can attract your tribe of people that are going to elevate you and push you and motivate you to the next level. Don't talk to me until you're ready to graduate. Until you've graduated from that system of being a sucker or a slave to other people with your people pleasing. Don't come to me for work. I got courses that'll support you with that though. But you're not ready to work with me directly because you're still worried about what they gonna say. It's time to graduate from that belief system of being a victim, a people pleaser, being guilty for your success, and you got to take care of everybody. You the one in the family that's making the most money. You paying everybody bills. You need to graduate from that system. And just like in graduation, there are some people that's going to get left behind. When you graduate, everybody don't go to school. Everybody don't go to college. Everybody don't go to... Some people just sit. And some people, you just going to have to leave them sitting because it's time for you to graduate. Are you truly ready? Are you brave enough to elevate your belief, your biology, and your behavior for the sake of your ultimate mastery of self? Let me tell you something. My queens who want to be wives, You got to be a master of self because you got to be a master of your mouth. Do you know how to lean back when you feel like you have the answer? Or do you just have to speak the answer? Or do you know to go to the one that created you so he could directly drop the answer exactly so you could be feminine and you could sit back? Because I know the Most High got it. Do you know how to be a master of your emotional responses, or are you still caught up in toxic games where you feel like you need to play these little tricks on people? Child, you still sitting at the children's table. You have the palette of chicken nuggets and french fries. I don't care how many brunches you go on. We are grown. A lot of us are grown children out here. Adult children. Because to be grown means to mature. I'm sorry. And to mature means to be ready to graduate. To grow. Okay? So like I said, belief is the foundation of your reality. So if you haven't identified your limiting beliefs, if you haven't reframed or reprogrammed, if you have not aligned your beliefs with the spiritual foundation that aligns with you, I can tell you right now that your foundation, your reality is shaky. You walking on shaky ground, baby. Quicksand, actually. And the way this world is going, baby, one shake, one wrong step, and you're going to be under. And it's all because you're not connected with self to understand who you truly are so you can operate from that space consistently. Consistently. The second thing, the biology, understanding your body's wisdom. Okay? The second aspect of are you brave enough to elevate your belief, your biology, and your behavior. So let's get into it. The reason why the biological aspect is so important is because what I need people to know is that women specifically, but anyone, on this earth while you're here, you're having 3 experiences in one. That's why the whole thing about time being a concept is very, very true. But I'm not going to break that down today. I don't feel like doing time, physics, and all that great stuff. But what you have to understand is that you are a spirit being having a human experience with a psychological experience. So we have a human experience, a biological experience, and a psychological experience. I'm going to answer y'all questions towards the end, my love. Save that for me. And what you have to understand is that all 3 of those areas require balance in order for you to be able to be sound, to make sound decisions. And a lot of us are not sound. Okay? The reason why the biology aspect is so important to me is because I used to be 90 pounds heavier. I was bald in the center of my head, and I had horrible polycystic ovarian syndrome symptoms. Okay? I had no period for like 20 years. I literally had been malnourished, and my body has not been regulated. Was not regulated since I was 11. That's when I got my cycle, when I was 11. But here's the funny part about that. My first 10 years of this life of living here, it lacked stability because I had one parent that had an issue and I had another parent who was trying to hold down everything. So guess what that left? Shaky ground. So you have a child in the midst of that, and that shaky ground, that environment. See, this is why we be talking about children in their environments. I used to work at CPS for 5 years, working in SA and child. And when I tell you environment matters, because it literally shifts, it can shift the way your body operates, the way your children operate. All that arguing and all that drama and all that stress around your babies, it goes into their bodies and it make them sick. I had issues at 11. Cycle came at 11. It was irregular for 20 years. 21, I'm sorry, until I was, Toy died in when I was 33. 22, irregular, imbalanced, biologically. That threw me completely off. Added birth control on top of that, which is a false hormone that throws off the body. So what you think you want, you actually don't want, and you realize how moody you are, and just think we're selecting partners while on this false hormone. This thing is throwing the body completely off. It is when I ridded myself of all those things. I really got in real relationship with the Most High after my spiritual awakening. I lost weight. The Most High gave me 6 months and told me exactly what I needed to do to work on my body. My cycle has been coming consistently for the last 7 years. the last 7 years. Again, I ain't had to take none of the medicine they said take. I didn't have to do none of all that other stuff they was trying to make me do. When they went in there to look for cysts, baby, wasn't no more cysts on my ovaries. Good evening and good night. So when I tell you biology and stress and what you believe impacts the way your body operates, it does. So here's what you need to understand about understanding the body's wisdom. Okay? Your body holds immense wisdom and potential. By understanding and working with your biology as a woman, you can unlock new levels of energy, new levels of creativity, which are amazing for your business, and performance, which are also amazing for your business. Here are the things that are very important. This is how you know you're ready to graduate. I'm ready to graduate to have consistent income coming in my business because I care about my health as a CEO, because the health of the business is dependent upon the well-being of the CEO. So as a woman, I'm going to cycle sync. I'm going to be in sync with my cycle so that I know what phases I'm the most creative, what phases I am more wise, what phases I'm more productive. All of these different things I'm going to know because I'm going to be in sync with my cycle. You have 4 phases in your cycle: menstrual, luteal, follicular, ovulation. If you're not in sync with those, you literally are becoming 4 different women in a month. So for those who think they're moody, you're not moody. You're not in sync with self. And because you're not in sync with self, you don't know how to operate. You don't know what you should be eating during those time frames. My clients do. You don't know how you should be working out during that time frame. My clients do. You don't know how you should be resting during that time frame. My clients do. You don't know how you should be releasing during the time that you're actually physically releasing, but my clients do. And this is why they can go on from month to month to month and put out amazing content and do amazing work and make amazing money. Why? And still not be burnt out, because they are in sync with self. So they work with the body when society taught you to work against it. That's why they told you to take Midol. That's why they told you to work during your period. That's why they created Always with all them chemicals in there to make you even more sick. Because society desires for you to be a slave to it, not to be successfully free from it. Don't you know that? Because society being sick is huge business. It's big money. It's not a coincidence that all these women are having fibroid issues and womb issues and all of these things. Society understands that creative life force energy within women is one of the most powerful things ever. Because a woman whose womb is actually working right is a woman who can truly create. Because in that energy, there is a period during the phases of your cycle where you literally can create even more. You become so sharp mentally. You become so sharp and energetic within your body. You can almost create anything. And if they told you that, you might not come to work. If they told you that, you might just do this. But they told you to come to work and take pills on your period, knowing that if you did a lot of work, if you did any type of exhausting task while you were on your period at work, that it was going to throw your complete hormonal cycle off for the whole month. Because when you work hard or do anything outside of resting during your cycle, it sets the tone for the rest of how the phases are going to be. That's why you're having all those womb issues. It's overworked. And overworking is a masculine thing, right? Why so many of us got facial hair? And this is coming from a woman who was growing it too. Because it's too much testosterone, because we're overworking. Ooh. When things manifest, they manifest, don't they? The physical signs of you overworking yourself are showing up on your body. There are certain workouts that you can do during your cycle. I was speaking about stress, any type of thing that's going to cause stress. There are certain things that you do in your cycle. My clients have a list of things that they know what to do. So cycle syncing is going to be one of those things. That's gold. That's why I'm having. So I was supposed to have. I know y'all hadn't seen me all week, but I have been under. I have not been feeling well. So I had to push my masterclass back. I couldn't do it yesterday, so I actually am having it next Thursday. And I'm teaching leaders to cycle sync, so that they don't burn out in 2025. Because I'm gonna tell y'all something. For those who have businesses, if you're working hard now to get money, you're gonna be working so hard in 2025. You gonna have to close your doors. Women are going to have to learn how to get in body and get in sync if you want to be able to make money. and be able to create and be able to get your piece of the pie of this creator economy that's $250 billion projected. If you are not, you will find yourself being a slave to something else that you don't want to be a slave to. And I'm just going to be honest with you. The things that I see coming horrify me in some instances. It's a lot of society has really set us up with this, the media and the music and a lot of things. And women have developed this mindset of, oh, I just need to get money from a man to be able to do this. I need to scam him, to use the tricks for me to get him to pay for things and X, Y, Z, whatever, right? But here's the truth of the matter. If you really align with your feminine design, men will take care of everything. You will rarely even have to ask. I'm telling you from what I know, but whatever. But when you find yourself in that space where you are listening and taking in these things, what you're not realizing is that we have entered into a space in this reality, especially if you live in the States, where you are being outpriced to live. Be careful of the things that you are saying outside of your mouth. Oh, I'm going to just give me somebody, so I get these bills paid. You're going to position yourself to where you may be forced to have to do that, and you force yourself into a situation that you don't need to be in that's not safe. This is why I'm not an advocate for women being out here talking about how you're going to get this money from this man. A man is not a plan. A job is not a plan. You have creative and witty inventions in your very being, according to Proverbs 8 and 12. If you don't tap in, you're going to miss your beats. So if you're looking for this man to pay your bills and do X, Y, Z, most of them can't afford it, especially the ones in your area, because you can't see past who you are. So you're not ready to go and meet men in wealthy spaces because you don't see yourself as wealth. Because if you did, you wouldn't be out here looking for them to fund your life, a life that you can't even afford. I support women in being able to understand that you have these gifts within you that literally will make room for you, that literally will create income for you so you can flourish in your femininity. And when you choose to submit to a husband, you are choosing someone who truly is all about you flourishing, and you have what you need for yourself, so you are not draining him, but you're amplifying what he got and what you got. Y'all are playing yourselves, because the way that we are going in this world, I'm trying to tell you, you need to be in sync with yourself. You need to be in your natural rhythm. You need to be in your natural rhythm so you can be getting these opportunities and you can attract, because you depending on somebody else, you're going to get played. And then I'm like, how they telling y'all to go out here and depend on people like people ain't dying every day? People die every day, B. Like, so what are we doing? You're going to get there, get his money. And it's the thing, if you don't know your own value and you can't amplify your own value, when somebody gives you something so valuable, such as so-called money, you're not going to value it enough to amplify the value, which means you ain't going to keep it, which means you ain't going to keep him. Because one thing you better know, two things for certain when it comes down to men, they don't play about their money. Because this society thrives on how a man provides and what he does, and he ain't finna let you drain him. Not one who's intelligent that has resources. It's not gonna do that. If you don't understand your own value and you don't amplify that and you don't show your own self as an asset, you will not be able to keep or attract assets. And you can't tell me you see yourself as an asset when you are living out of sync with your natural rhythm in your body. You can't tell me that, because it's not real. It's not true. You're not living in authentic ease. I built my business from the ground up to 6 figures through psycho-syncing as well. I don't hustle. I hustled more when I was working at Mac full-time as a full-time artist. I'm more a part-time artist, but an on artist when I was working at the Department of Children's Services, and when I had my bridal makeup business. I was working so hard, and I didn't even get 6 figures, and I had all 3 of them rolling. A government job, a bridal business that was pretty booming, and Mac, because my belief was off. My belief was off, and my body was off. I was 90 pounds heavier. So all the opportunities that I could even get, am I even healthy enough to be able to withstand? These are the things that you have to think about. The second thing, when it comes down to understanding your body's wisdom, are you in a space where you practice holistic health? Are you nourishing your body with the right foods? Are you exercising? Are you practicing self-care? because a healthy body supports a vibrant mind and spirit. That's what's needed to be able to lead a company, to be able to be an effective feminine business owner, an effective feminine leader or creative. You have to be willing to do what it takes to take care of your vessel. It says in scripture that your body is a temple. Your body is a temple. And I don't think we understand, because we so used to going to church in the States. A lot of people don't understand and have never walked into a temple. That's a whole different kind of element. It is very clear when you walk into temples that you are walking into a space that is serious. You are walking into a space that is holy. You are walking into a space that is clear. But ain't none of that happening to you, because you don't even know that you are a temple enough to give yourself what you need. We are eating garbage. We're already being poisoned. But then we got the nerve to eat garbage. The majority of what we eat is garbage on top of that. And you wonder why your brain is not as effective. You wonder why you can't hear your intuition. Do y'all not understand they put these things in the food to be able to block important things within us so that we can understand ourselves better? Do you not understand that these things impact the way you think, the way you operate? This food? Are you not paying attention to the fact that the majority of the things that we are allowed to eat in this country is banned in other countries? And you think going to work eating hot chips is going to make you effective in doing the work you feel like you need to do? And we out here wondering why our children running amok when they're malnutrition, all that. They're not eating anything dense. Nothing. And then we wonder why people are not walking around with vibrant hearts, spirits, and minds. Because the body is full of poison, from their thoughts to the food we intake. And what happens when you put trash fuel in a new car or in a decent car? It messes up the engine. And once the engine is gone, what happens? The car's dead. It's no good. This is what we are doing to ourselves when we are not understanding our body's wisdom. You are doing yourself a disservice. Like, just stop lying. Stop lying and say you love yourself when you don't really fool with you like that. You don't. You do not. And it's very evident in your behavior and how you treat yourself. Understanding the body's wisdom, the mind and body connection. Are you connected mentally and physically with yourself? Do you truly understand the mind and body connection? Do you understand the mind and gut connection? All these gut issues that people are having consistently, that affects your mind. Brain fog and all those things is coming because you're having all these gut issues. Y'all don't notice how society will serve you something, serve you a problem, and then serve you a solution for that problem? I can't scroll on TikTok without seeing a gut health product or something that somebody is trying to put out there, a corporation is trying to put out there, because people are not having all these gut issues. Why are people having all these gut issues though? Because they put poison in the food. Because they put fillers in the food, and the fillers in the food can't be digested by your authentic internal universe that is literally genius. It's literally created to digest almost anything that is supposed to be eaten. And because this is not supposed to be eaten, it goes somewhere else, or it clogs something up, which causes and invites dis-ease into the body, a lack of harmony. It creates a lack of harmony within the body, which creates dis-ease, and dis-ease is an invitation of illness. Now you at the doctor, now they saying you sick. After they done told you that you need to be eating XYZ. But because you don't understand your own self, you don't have a mind and body connection to recognize when you eat certain things, the way your body responds, that it does not desire that, or it is not something that belongs, because you're so desensitized from self. Because we live in a society of gluttony, we live in a society of overindulgence. You don't even know what's going on with your body. And you think you're going to run a business and not burn out? Okay, then. So if you don't understand your body's wisdom, if you're not cycle syncing, if you're not in a space where you are positioning yourself for holistic health, if you don't have a connection with your mind and your body, baby, you ain't ready to graduate. You need to graduate into a new biology. You need to quantum jump into a new reality, into a healthier version of yourself ASAP. And you could quantum jump within minutes, because there ain't nothing but a decision. If you don't, I have videos on YouTube that teach you how to quantum jump. It's you simply jumping from one state to another, but it's you understanding and being able to get into the frequency of that. If you don't know how to position yourself and visualize yourself in that space energetically, it's not happening. Money is attracted to wealth. And I know people say, oh, money is wealth. Money is made up of 75% cotton, 25% linen. It lost its real backing in the 1970s when it was backed up by gold. It actually has no backing. So literally it's cotton. So when you crying about money, when you stressing about money, that $100 bill in your pocket, it's cotton. It's not too much, not too far off the slave plantation. It's not too far off the plantation. When you are stressing and slaving yourself over cotton, it's not a coincidence that it says that for the love of money is the root of all evil, because money really has no real value. Money actually chases value. Money actually goes after wealth, but you have to see yourself as wealth. You have to put yourself and position yourself in the frequency of actually being wealth. Okay? So that's what's attractive. I appreciate you so much. I've lost weight and doing coaching classes. Yay! I'm so excited. Congratulations. Please DM me more of your testimonial, because I want to hear more. Please, please, please. But yeah, it's time to graduate. It's time to graduate into higher thinking. And a lot of times, some of y'all are scared to graduate biologically. You're scared to get in the best shape of your life because you're scared of what's going to come, because you don't know what the outcome going to be, and you don't know if you're going to be able to handle it. You don't know if you're going to be able to handle it. But you are. You are. The scripture says for you to love your neighbor as you love yourself. The first example of you loving yourself is taking care of your temple. Get in sync with your cycle. If you need to get in sync with your cycle, you need to be at the masterclass on next week. Especially if you're a leader, a business owner, or entrepreneur, or creative, you need to be in it next week. Okay? Holistic health, you need to be nourishing yourself with the proper things that you need, and you also need to have a strong mind and body connection. The mind and body connection is going to support you in regulating your nervous system. A lot of people talk about regulating your nervous system. They don't really tell you how. They don't really talk about it. I support my clients in actually doing the process through the work, because the work that I give you supports you in regulating your nervous system, because you're not having to do things that are inauthentic and that cause stress within the body. Because stress within the body is what invites which stress within the body is the one that invites illness into the body. Okay? Now I always try to explain to people, when people, certain things, your heart, even though we hear heart attack, why would your heart attack you? The heart doesn't attack you, the heart defends. What is the heart defending against is the question. Okay? When you invite stress into your space and into your body, it's a violation. And it shows because it violates your organs and your body by throwing it off balance. It does its job. It does its job. Okay? Number 3. Behavior, taking inspired action. So we talked about belief being the foundation of your reality, and biology is all about understanding your body's wisdom. And now we're on behavior, which is taking inspired actions. Your actions are the bridge between your beliefs and your reality. Do you feel like in this point in your life that you're taking the inspired actions that align with your elevated beliefs that in order to optimize your biology? And what I mean by that is, once you got the beliefs, once you started to work on yourself and elevate your biology, are you taking the steps necessary to get the results that you really want in this life? Because a lot of people are not doing that. That's what I say. Y'all, can we, okay, because let's have this conversation real quick. I want us to stop lying. When I say, are you brave enough to elevate your beliefs, your biology, and your behavior, are you brave enough to do it in a way, or are you brave enough to do it if it means you're going to be the wife you claim you want to be so bad? Because some of y'all need to elevate y'all beliefs when it comes down to marriage and actually what a wife actually is. Is your biology ready? Why are you so happy? Why are you so ready to have babies? Are you paying attention to the fact that a lot of black women are dying in hospitals while giving babies? Are you paying attention to that? Are you elevating your biology? I was having a conversation with one of the closest people in my life. And she's about to get married. And I'm excited for her. And one of the beautiful things that she said to me, she said, I'm not having no babies for about 5 years. Which I'm like, okay, cool. And then she said, because I told my soon-to-be husband that, hey, before I have a baby, I need a year. I need you to hire a trainer to get my body and a nutritionist to get my body prepared to carry a baby. So I want to prepare a year in advance. Are you ready to elevate your biology to carry a healthy baby to term? Are you ready to put the hot wings down? See, y'all be talking so much bull about what you're willing to do and what you want, but you ain't really ready to do that work. You're not about that. You're not about that. You not about that. And you need to stop lying. You claim so much, I want the best relationship. I want to be able to choose from the best suitors and this and this and that. Are you the best of yourself? How's your health? Because let's have this conversation, because the truth is, and people don't want to say it, but it's true. Men with money have a multitude of options because they know they are resourceful when they got money. So they know they always can choose. Women who know they're that girl and who have put in the work to elevate themselves spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically to become that girl, they understand that they have a multitude of options as well. Because being that girl is not just an external experience. This queen understands her value and she amplifies it. So this means that she doesn't sit in circumstances that don't meet her standards. She doesn't entertain things that are going to drain or devalue her. She don't do it. Women who are at their top best self have the best choices when it comes down to suitors. And I don't care what nobody say. Men who got resources and got their stuff together have more options to choose from when it comes down to women. We need to stop lying. Stop saying it. You the prize if you know doggone well you ain't doing the work on yourself to elevate yourself, to graduate, to exemplify being a prize. Y'all lie too much for me. Too much for me. The problem is the prize that you've been taught is the prize is what you've achieved. Your degrees, what you have, your house. Baby, sit down. If you living in the States, everybody getting out price. You might be outside in a minute. Nobody cares about that. What's up with you? Tell me about you. Don't tell me what you do. But no, that's too much like right. There's too much like right. When you are at your best self, you don't settle for less. That's why I don't entertain women when they say things like, I know my worth and he ain't gonna be treating me like this. Baby, shut all that up talking to me. Because here's why I'm gonna tell you shut all that up talking to me. Because the truth of the matter is, when you know your worth and your value, you get away from people who are trying to drain it. You don't position yourself to be played with because you know you can't be played without your own permission, your participation, or the fact that you ain't paying attention. And you always paying attention, so you ain't finna get played. We have to stop lying to ourselves. Because the reflection, it's all around you, baby. It's all around you. You're not ready. Stop asking for things you're not ready for. Are you ready to position yourself for more? You scared you're going to leave your friends. Child, here's how you know if you're ready to graduate, or if you graduated from your childhood or your childish behavior, so that you really can get into a space of self-mastery, is habit transformation. Are your habits changing? Are they shifting? What does that look like? What behaviors have you identified that no longer serve you, that you've given an X? Excuse me. Number 2, when it comes down to your behavior, strategically planning. Is there a strategic plan? See, this is the thing too, and I'll be really honest with you. I'll be real with you. So when I got married, right, I didn't necessarily have a vision. And like it says in scripture, without a vision, the people will perish. And guess what, beloved? The marriage perished because there was no real vision. There was no strategic plan. You have to plan for success, baby. On all levels. It ain't just business. You have to plan for success. Plan. When you don't have a plan, you're planning to fail. When you don't commune together, you don't have goals. But here's why I didn't have that. Because I didn't have a vision for myself when I got married. But on team, can't give something that you don't have of self, because my healing journey started in my marriage. I wasn't healed or done the work when I got to, no. I was 29 and in love and wanted to get married. I just love him. I just love. That's not enough. What's the vision? What's the plan? If you don't have a plan for what your next level is going to be, you ain't finna graduate. Even when you graduate, they got you on a plan. They got you on a pathway. Because the plan and the goal is, the vision is to see you walk across the stage and see you graduate. The reason a lot of women lose the plot is because we lose the plan for ourselves, because there's no vision, or we lose sight of the vision. This is how women get married, and they allow themselves to get completely let go, because they think it ain't my, oh, I got my man, or I'm serving my family to my best by letting myself go and exhausting myself to oblivion and doing all this stuff. Ain't nobody finna give you no damn award for that. You are going to hurt yourself. Claiming you would die for your children, but you won't live for them enough to pour into yourself so that you can even pour into the people in your house. And then you get mad when the people in your house don't want to support you. Baby, when you look like you got it, it don't look too heavy, huh? Guess it ain't heavy at all. Guess it ain't heavy at all. You got it. That's how we be playing ourselves. Strategic planning. The next one, continuous improvement. This means that you embrace a mindset of growth and evolving. Continuous growth and evolving. Let me tell you something. Self-care is the key fundamental of every single relationship, because you set the tone of how people treat you by the way you treat yourself. And when you show that you are consistently growing and you are consistently evolving and you are consistently ascending, I guarantee you that you will have no desire for a person to deal with a person or be with a person in a romantic space or even in a friendship space that's not evolving and that's not growing, because you understand that they're going to hold you back. So you don't even entertain things that are going to hold you back, because you understand that with your behavior, you are taking inspired action. Every time you take an action, there is a response to that in the spirit realm and in the earth. You better know. And if you didn't know, now you know. Everything, all energy is circulating around. Okay? You got to understand that it's going to come back to you, baby. What you're doing is going to come back to you. And if you're doing nothing, you're going to get nothing. Period. Okay? So please understand, and I'm just asking, with these things, if you realizing belief is the foundation of your reality, and understanding, that your body is wise, the biology of your body, understanding your body's wisdom and your behavior in the space of you needing to take inspired action, you'll know whether or not you're brave enough to actually elevate your belief, your biology, and your behavior so that you can master self. Because in order for you to master business, in order for you to master space in relationships and master your feminine design, baby, you're going to have to get brave. And y'all too scary for me. Some of y'all too scary for me. I'm a risk taker. And I'm a Sagittarius, baby. I will jump. Okay, I don't mind. How do I sign up for the course of class? You click the link in the bio. The class I'm having next week is the Psychocentric Leadership class, where I'm supporting women creatives and business owners so they can graduate, okay, in the form of their biology. So if you're wanting to sync your cycle, and also, you don't want to hustle in your business next year for the rest of the year. You want to be in sync with your natural rhythm so you know when to create, when to rest, when you are the sharpest. See, there are certain times in the month when you're more wise than when you're not. There are certain times in a month where honestly you should not be having hard conversations during there's a particular phase of your menstrual cycle that you should not try to have hard conversations. You shouldn't, because you're not emotionally, you're more sensitive during that time period. And if you don't know that, you'll try to close a deal during the worst time of your cycle, the phase of your cycle, and then you don't feel like you gave your best and you can't figure out why, because you're all over the place. That wasn't the time for that. See, I schedule sessions and I allow sessions when I am at my peak. I schedule master classes and different things when I'm at my peak, because I am in sync with my body. And being in sync with your body positions you to get paid well. Period. Baby, who want to sit around and be hustling? I'm telling you, I keep saying this, y'all think Project 2025 is a game. Y'all keep thinking that these people care about y'all. Y'all keep thinking that these people gonna have some form of conscious or human decency. Keep thinking that. But in the meantime, what I'm gonna tell you is, you can't outwork a robot, and you can't outwit AI. And what these people are planning, baby, you ain't even ready or prepared for. But I guarantee you, who knows? And that's the one who created us all. This is why it's very important for you to be in tune with your creative gifts. And that's for you to understand that you have creative and witty inventions in your very being, according to Proverbs 8 and 12. And because of you understanding that, you understand that you will never be broke, no matter what the economy is and what's popping and what's going down. Because you understand that your gifts are going to consistently make room for you. So you're going to be in alignment, catching bags, while everyone else is trying to figure out where the bag's at. So for the women who want to catch bags, they'll be in my masterclass next week. For the ones who want to keep hustling, you'll be throwing bags or maybe boxes at somebody else's establishment, because you are not going to be able to outwork these robots that they're creating, and you are not going to be able to outwit AI. I am telling you, and I told my sister this yesterday, the people who gonna win in this $250 billion creative economy that they are projecting are the observers and the creatives. And that's a small percentage, because the majority of the world, they just project. A majority of people are not paying attention enough to know what's really happening. They're just vomiting their emotions and their anxiety and their feelings onto people's comment sections, into people's lives. They're too busy doing that to be able to assess what's really going on. When you can't see past your emotions, you in trouble, babe. Molly, you in danger, girl. You can't see past your emotions, you in danger, baby. Because where we're going, they're trying to emotionally, and they've already started, they're trying to emotionally exhaust you to the point that you will accept anything, even that mark. Wink, wink. Because when you're so exhausted and you're so tired and you're so broke and you don't have, you will almost take anything. Ain't that right? Because that's what happens when you get into the frequency of desperation. And that's when you end up in the frequency of desperation, when you don't choose to transmute your energy up. So your move is chess, right? So for those who are ready to graduate into a space of ultimate self-mastery, I hope I get to see y'all in my masterclass on Thursday next week. You can grab your tickets. The link is in the bio. What questions do you guys have for me? There's a few things that are a little bit different on my link in the bio. So if you have questions about any of those courses or any of the different things that I have up there, please let me know. There's now a section where if you are struggling in the areas of like healing your relationship around money, healing your relationship with yourself, healing yourself in the area of relationships in general, then you want to click on the healing button and go to the Mind and Heart Set Institute, where it will support you. There's about 5 courses on there and mixed in with some bundles that will support you in healing those aspects if you're suffering with wounds around money, around self, and around relationships. Because if those are where you are, you ain't ready to really get no money. And I'm finna keep it real with you. Some of y'all out here looking for relationships, and I don't know why. Because here's the truth. If you ain't made money today, if you're not in the best health, if you don't feel like you look like your best, then why are we worried about somebody else? Why do we care about what another person is doing? Why are we concerned about what somebody else is doing and why they're not contacting us, or why they not messing with us the way we mess with them when we don't mess with ourselves? That's why. And it's because you continue to obsess over this person that makes you an energetic repellent to that person. They're not attracted to you. That's how stalkers come about. Stalkers come about, and people try to make, oh my God, how does a person get so easy? Very easy. Little miss, I want somebody to be obsessed. Let me tell you something. When you consistently obsess over something, that sends out an energetic vibration. That energetic vibration is one of, I got to have it by any means necessary. I want it so bad, I'm going to hold it. That is the frequency of desperation. When you are on the frequency of desperation, guess what happens? You become a repellent to all things that would have been attracted to you. So the very thing that you are obsessed with becomes repelled by you. Because you're so obsessed in your mind, you start acting a certain kind of way. You start behaving. Again, belief, biology, behavior. You believe and you're obsessed. You've romanticized this whole idea and situation in your mind. Your biology, baby, and you even getting wet at the fact of the idea. Because this is, call it what it is. You're getting wet at the fact of the idea in your mind. Your body is responding to the flashback that's not even real, that's in your mind. And because you have all of these things happening in your mind, you are behaving in a way and pushing yourself onto something that does not desire you. And that's how some of y'all are with money. That's why money is not attracted to you, because you don't know that you're wealth. And money only responds to wealth because wealth is what's valuable. And health is wealth. That's just one element of it. So really start paying attention to these things. If you're having the issues where you need to heal those wounds, click on that and check out those courses. I know the Psychocentric Masterclass says 6/6. I told y'all I wasn't feeling well this week, so I had to reschedule 6/15. You get all my products with Klarna Affirm and Afterpay, except for, I think, the courses that are on the healing one. I don't know if y'all can get them there. I don't think so. And then I also have the Feminine Flourish Mastery Suite. That is the revamp of the FEMA bundle. And you can click the link to be able to check that out. That is for creatives and entrepreneurs who literally want to create services that attract. You get a plan that shows you how to make your first $50,000. It assesses you in certain ways for what area of your intelligence needs to be packaged into an income, and how you can price it at a high level and get the clients and services. Okay, get the clients and the consumers that you desire and that you want, that will pay you at a high level. I've had a multitude of results from that particular bundle. It is absolutely amazing. It's $888, and you can click on it to see everything that you get with it. And then I also have, for business owners who are struggling to attract their client, I have the Client Magnetism Powerhouse. So you can become a CMP, which is a Client Magnetism Powerhouse, which is basically you become a client magnet. And I teach you everything that you need to know so that you really can excel with ease in the space of receiving clients and attracting high paying clients that you truly desire. So you can click the link in the bio to be able to access any of those. What questions do you guys have for me? Drop them in the comments before I get ready to go, because I'm about to get ready to go. And congratulations to those who have purchased tickets, because I can see them coming in. That's how strong supposed to create. Honey, we will, I see strongholds basically it's like attachments. We will attach ourselves to any and everything. We really will. And as women, a lot of times we do it just to feel something. It's very unfortunate. It's very, very unfortunate. Thanks, boo. What questions do you guys have? So I'm about to get to go. I know you was asking me questions earlier, but I couldn't really get them all. So whatever questions, drop them now before I get ready to get out here, because I gotta get out here. I would tell you for that question. I would tell you to no, sweetheart. Tell me your question again, and I'll do it. I would recommend for you to follow plant-based living. Let me see if that's her. She's live right now, actually. My client Kendra. She's a plant-based strategist. She's a plant-based life strategist. So she would be the one to be able to ask that question to. That's who I would refer you to when you get into the specifics of the biome. And let me know if you can't find her. Thank you. All praises to the Most High. You're welcome. Chanel, I'm sorry I missed your question. Can't find her. Let me see. She's live now, but that's her. Yeah, I overlooked my great screen. And her name is Kendra. And she has lots of content. And like I said, she's live now. It's inverted. I'm confused. Repeating number 1. Belief is the foundation of your reality. That's number 1. What's back? Oh, I'm sorry, sunshine. But her ad. Let me see. What's Kendra ad? Some kind of natural. So SOME, kind of natural. How can I stop myself from getting easily attached or obsessed over someone? Then become obsessed with yourself. And if you need to know how to become obsessed with yourself, then I would strongly recommend that you go check out the courses in the healing, the womb section on my link. Because that's how you do that. Did you see the other question before that? I'm sorry I didn't. You're welcome. They're coming in so fast. But yeah, you become completely obsessed with yourself. You ain't got time to be worried about nobody else. They be trying to figure out what you... That's the thing. When you become obsessed with yourself and you do so many different things with yourself and you begin to radiate and you become like... your attraction just... Your magnetism just shoots up. Like insane. What about a toxic workplace and need the tutor? I'm so confused about that last line. People have, well, I'll say this too. I worked in a toxic workplace. So I'm just going to assume. What I can tell you is this, and this is just my recommendation for anyone who is working a 9 to 5. You need to have a plan. And you need to use that job like it's using you. Okay? You need to have a plan. You need to look at the structure. If you know you want to go work for yourself, look at that business and look at it how it's structured, and take notes and design your own business model according to the things that you see, and the things that you don't like that you see. Make sure that those things aren't a part of your business model. But you need to be using that job like it's using you. You need to be taking that time off that you get off. You need to be doing all of those things. So start looking at that job as a resource, that a stepping stone that gets you to where you need to do, where you need to be, and stop being scary and put a deadline on when you're leaving, because that's where you really start tapping into it. See, people like, oh yeah, I got a business. See, that's the new hype. I got a business. You work at a 9 to 5, so people can clap for you online, but you ain't got no money circulating in your business. Like, that's crazy work. You're gonna have to put a deadline on it. I got serious. I was leaving my job. I said 6 months from the time I go back, because I had took some time off. 6 months from the time that I get back, I'm leaving. I don't care what's happening. I don't care what I got. I don't care what I don't got, but I'm finna go. Hey, love. And I did exactly that. And it resulted in me building my business up from the ground up to 6 figures. So you definitely can do it, but you're going to have to light a fire under you. But I'm also a person that's kind of crazy in the sense, like, I'll jump out there and do risky stuff. It's not a lot that scares me. So, or I'll put myself in scary situations and be like, okay, so how are we going to figure this out? I don't know. So, and I trust God the whole way. I ask and I jump. I'm my siblings will tell you I'm just not a scary person. What if you are a teenager working a 9 to 5? How old? A teenager? How old is this teenager working this 9 to 5? Before I say my next thing, I love what you're teaching. I'll definitely be an assassin. Absolutely. Well, all praises to the Most High. I am Vibe Shauna. And if you're a teenager working at 9 to 5, remember, this is only temporary, baby. And this the realest thing I give you. It's only temporary, baby. It's only temporary. I want you to look at all the people around you that are older than you, that are extremely older than you. Okay? And I want you to look at the results of their life and listen to their stories. And I want you to make a decision on if you want to be in that type of position 20, 30 years from now. And if this is not desirable for you to be still in this space, remember that this is temporary. Pay attention to all the things that are around you. Learn all the lessons you can so that you never have to come back, baby. Because one thing for sure, two things for certain. If that ain't the life you want, that's going to be an education lesson to really show you and teach you how the world works. So soak up all the knowledge and learn to observe and pay attention to the patterns of people, because that's going to take you so far, especially in this creator economy. And then start asking yourself, what are the things that I do extremely well? What are the gifts that I have inside me? What have people been saying all my life that I do well with? And what am I extremely passionate about? And what is the purpose behind this? And how am I going to support other people with my gifts? And then once you do all that, come back and see me, because I love teenagers. I used to coach girls for 10 years, and I miss the teenage space. So because you are a teenager, I'm going to have to get some permission from your folks now, because I got questions, okay? But you DM me, and I'll give you some more things after that. All right? Okay. Let's see. I'm a trucker, and I'm a trucker, and I want to buy my time. I want to buy my time back and to be at home more. What do you suggest? You being a trucker, if you have a trucking company, then I would create resources in teaching people how they can acquire trucks. If you're a broker, if a trucker that brokers your own deals, I would, if you're not, I would probably definitely try to become a broker, because that'll definitely buy back some of your time. Anything when it comes down to you teaching your elevated skill set. So all of the things that you've learned during your trucking experience. So you could create a guide for truckers for their first year. You could create something for people from the high school path that want to go from high school into the trucking industry, what that looks like and what they're going to need. For the parents, you can create resources for the parents. So it's a lot of things that you can do to be able to buy your time back. Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, and I understand when we have children, we have to do what we need to do. And in the midst of that, like I said, be evaluating the environment, um, and also evaluating yourself to see, like I said, what gifts you have that can make room for you and that can position you for something better, especially for yourself and for your children. So assessing self for gifts is very important, and I think people take for granted um, the ways that you're valued. Other people value. The comment you said after number one, I'm trying to remember it. I was writing it down. How did it start off? Cause child, that be the Most High speaking through me, baby. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But DM me the first part of what you were writing down, and if I see it, it'll probably come to me prayerfully. Okay. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for those who have purchased courses and tickets to the masterclass. I can't wait to see you guys. I'm really, really excited about it. I hope that y'all have an amazing, amazing weekend. Happy Feminine Friday again. DM me with any questions or concerns that you may have. And I hope that y'all have an amazing weekend. Peace, y'all.